Do you think it's misogynistic for men to desire a wife who stays at home and raises children, or is there nothing wrong with having that preference?
Nothing wrong.
No?
Yeah, I agree with that.
I find that quite sexy, actually.
Yeah,
Let's spin it on its head.
Women care a lot about a man's job. If he's successful and he's making lots of money, that makes him a lot more attractive as a potential partner. You see, women are attracted to ambition because it's masculine. It demonstrates competence and leadership. But men, they don't really care about a woman's career. She could be a lawyer, she could be a waitress. It doesn't really make that much of a difference. No matter what she does for a living, it's not likely to be as important to a man as how pretty she is. Men will choose a beautiful, feminine waitress over some ugly, masculine lawyer woman 100% of the time. This is because ambition is not attractive to men. We've already got ambition. We are men after all. Some of us have too much. And ambition is fundamentally a masculine trait. So when you meet a woman who's highly ambitious, she's a lawyer, she's a corporate businesswoman, she's a politician, she's working hard to reach the top, that's not attractive. Now, I'm not saying that women shouldn't have the right to do those things. Women have every right to pursue whatever career they want, all power to them. But don't expect men to find it attractive. That's because men intuitively understand that all of the energy that you're expending going after professional success comes at the expense of qualities that we value more, like femininity, like kindness. Now, in case people are losing their minds, I need to spend some time just clarifying definitions here, because when I'm talking about ambition, I'm talking specifically about masculine ambition. That desire to accumulate power, to make lots of money, to beat the competition, to be better than everybody else. That is the kind of ambition that drives men to succeed and to achieve and ultimately be able to provide for their families. And so when I say men don't find ambitious women attractive, I'm talking specifically about that type of masculine ambition. However, if you expand the definition of ambition, you suddenly get a very different story. You could say that a monk living alone in a cave trying to reach enlightenment is still technically ambitious. He might not have anything in common with the tech entrepreneur who's trying to create a company and make millions and millions of dollars, but he's still pursuing excellence and success in his chosen endeavor. You could say that a man who is volunteering at some orphanage is ambitious in his desire to help. Or the starving artist or musician who doesn't care at all about making money is still ambitious because they're trying desperately to express what they're feeling inside in their work. It's not going to be financially very lucrative what they're doing, but they're still trying their best. They're still ambitious. And so the reason why I'm explaining that you can expand the definition of ambition is to say that men can be attracted to women who have ambition, but so long as it's feminine ambition. So what do I mean by that? Well, let me start by saying that I'm very socially libertarian. I don't want to control anybody's lives. You do whatever you want to do. But my respect for your right to choose whatever you want to do doesn't change the fact that a woman who is ambitious in a masculine field, trying to beat out male competition, is not going to be attractive. However, a woman who is striving to do her best in the feminine field is highly attractive. That is the kind of ambition that men find highly desirable. I find it to be the ultimate irony that me expressing this point of view is probably going to anger a lot of feminists who would say that this perspective that I have is denigrating the successes of women. In my mind, it's the exact opposite, and I would argue that radical feminism did a lot more to harm women. Who's to say that being successful in the world of business is more important or more impressive than raising happy, healthy children, of being a really good mother? You could even make the argument that being a successful mother and raising happy, healthy children is more difficult and therefore more deserving of praise. If you speak to successful business people about the difficulties they've had in their life, they'll often tell you that raising children was more of a struggle than achieving financial success. The fact that there are so many spoiled rich kids out there who grew up entitled and never known what it means to really suffer or work hard is proof of this. Now, it's sad to say, but the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And what the feminists wanted to do was to free women from a single social choice, to give them options so they weren't boxed in. I'm in favor of that. Let everybody choose whatever they want to choose, and whatever the consequences are will be the consequences. But undeniably, one of the unintended effects of feminism in telling women that they can go out and compete in the male world and empowering them to chase financial success is that we now have an exaggerated sense of the importance of the male role. We worship male ambition at the expense of feminine ambition. Financial success is not the most important thing. That's not what makes life worth living. We now underappreciate the female role. Women who are dedicated to raising children, to supporting their partner, to keeping their family's world orderly and beautiful deserve more recognition. But if you were to ask women today what it would mean for them to be successful, they would likely give the exact same answers that men would give. Professional success, making a certain amount of money, achieving a certain level of social notoriety. That is messed up. Men and women are different and we should be judged on different metrics. And it hasn't always been this way. Women used to define success very different back in the day. A woman would experience success through her husband. His achievements were her achievements. She was the woman behind the man and his glory was her glory. There is nothing wrong with that. His success is her success because the female contribution is really, really important. As a man, you know how much easier it's going to be to succeed in your chosen endeavor if after a long day's work, indulging your masculine ambition, you come home to some compassion, to some nurturing. You're greeted by this beautiful, high-quality woman who's there to support you. She listens to your struggles. She's grateful for your contributions. She's raising your children to be kind, respectful, likable humans. That makes a big difference. That energizes you. That inspires you. You can ask her advice and trust in her wisdom. Trust that she's on your side and will do anything to support you. You can leave the house each day knowing with confidence that the children that you have, that you love and care about so much, are left in the hands of somebody who you can trust. That's how it was back in the day. When you're a man and you go out into the world and you succeed, you know that you owe a lot of that success to the woman behind the scenes who's been supporting you. People used to understand that. They valued a woman's role, they valued femininity, and women felt like they were successful. When their husband achieved something, they felt successful. When their children succeeded in something, they also felt successful, like that was their success. Even when the children are young, but they're just growing up to be nice, likable people, that is success for the woman. But it seems like increasingly we're losing that and we don't really value femininity anymore. That is such a shame because feminine ambition is a beautiful thing. If a woman sits across from me and she says, I'm ambitious because I want to be as healthy as I can be, so I maintain a strict diet and I exercise every day, that female ambition is really, really attractive. If she says, I'm ambitious because I want to be psychologically really well adjusted, I want to clear my mind of any toxic beliefs. I want to grieve for any past emotional traumas I've undergone. I want to be well adjusted and have high self-esteem so that I can emotionally be there for the people who I care about. That kind of feminine ambition, really, really attractive. If she says to me, I'm ambitious because I want to be an amazing mother. I want to raise happy, healthy children. I want to provide them with a home that's beautiful and orderly and a life that's filled with nourishing activities and an energy of safe, dependable love. I find that female ambition really, really attractive. But if she says that I'm ambitious because I want to be the CEO of the company that I work for, I want to be the most powerful woman in my field, I want to make more money than everybody else, I don't find that attractive. In fact, I would consider that to be a red flag, and I would advise any man who's talking to me in a private consultation that if his partner, if his woman is talking like this, she's got these hyper masculine ambitions, I would be extremely cautious. Is she running from something and needs this constant sense of achievement as a distraction? Is she completely out of touch with her own femininity? Is she overly materialistic and thinks that money is going to create happiness? Men and women should cooperate, but not compete. Success means different things to men and to women, and that's absolutely fine. Men and women both have their own lanes. I'm going to finish this video with a couple of disclaimers. At the risk of repeating myself, I think it's important to say that I am in no way advocating for restricting the freedom of choice of women in any way. I think freedom of choice is extremely important, and I'm a big supporter of second wave feminism. I think it's a good thing, it's a positive step that there is less stigma for women who do want to pursue a career. Just like I think it's a good thing that there's less stigma for men who want to be a stay-at-home dad and raise the children. People should do what they want to do, and we should strive to stay out of other people's business. If it doesn't concern you, don't even have an opinion about it. No need to go around judging each other. This is not just talk, I really mean this. I find it fascinating that New Zealand has a prime minister that was pregnant and gave birth while in office. And she held a press conference for New Zealand's children to tell them about the quarantine that was happening. The combination of these feminine mothering qualities with a position of masculine power is really, really interesting to me. I think that's a fascinating experiment. Dare I suggest that the world of politics can often be really, really toxic, and perhaps it does suffer from an excess of masculine ambition. Maybe it could be balanced out with a bit more feminine energy. I don't know, maybe we'll wait and see. It's quite interesting to watch how this plays out. But as much as I support a woman's right to choose whatever field that she wants, I just think that it sucks that our definition of success has narrowed so much to be almost exclusively about male ambition. And so for any women out there who are struggling with all of this and having some kind of identity crisis because they don't know in what area they should channel their ambition, I want to tell you that there's nothing wrong with feminine ambition. You want to be a good wife, you want to be a good mother, that's how you want to express yourself, that's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what's normal, that's what's natural. And if the culture is shaming you or trying to make you feel bad for making that choice, ignore them. In a lot of ways, your life will be a lot easier because the path that you've chosen is in alignment with your biology. And it is that biology that men respond to. And so it's completely pointless to shame men saying, you should be attracted to successful, ambitious women. You know, the fact that you're not, that means that you're small or insecure or some nonsense like that. You can't shame men out of their preferences because this stuff is deeper than culture. It's not socially learned. This is ingrained in our biology. These are deeply rooted evolutionary instincts, and they're not going to change. Are you interested in polygamy? Does the idea of having multiple wives appeal to you? That's the topic of my latest video. In this video, I talk about the psychological reason why a lot of men have this particular fantasy, and I also share the test that you need to give to yourself and pass before you prove to yourself that you're capable of handling 2 wives. I give my opinion on whether or not I think that having 2 wives is ethical, and I think that my answer is going to surprise a lot of people. And lastly, I talk about the woman's perspective and what kind of a woman is likely to sign up for such an arrangement. For every video that I post here on YouTube, I post an additional bonus video on my Patreon page. That means that right now you're only seeing half of the total content that I create. If you'd like to see the other half, it's just $5 a month and you'll get instant access to a huge number of additional bonus videos. It's a great way to support the channel and I really hope to see you over there.